You see my hair's all slicked up here. I just got home from church, had lunch and all that. Uh, we didn't race last night, as you've seen. If those have seen my last video, we decided not to race because we're still having issues with the steering. Talking with a few people, kind of narrowed it down to probably the biggest culprit is the steering box itself. Like I said, there is bent parts, but probably my best bet at this point. I've already put new parts on the right side. I might as well work on the left side. Replace the steering box. It was leaking starting to leak really bad towards the end of the year. Anyway, so we've kind of made a decision with the repairs that need done on the car. We're going to go ahead and strip it down and call it a year. It's been one hit right after another with the car this year, and financially I'm kind of at the end of the road, and it ain't worth putting the money into fixing the car to go out and run one night for a normal payout, and no telling what could happen on that night. So we're just going to call it good for the year. The car's back in one piece from where it had been. Those of you that are new to the channel, we started the year off, we fought with overheating issues, then we had brake issues, and then I think we finally finished the race, and then we started turning into crashing to people for some reason. So I've ripped the right rear spring hanger out. I've bent the frame 6 inches, and we've fixed everything, and I'm kind of at a point that I'm back neutral again. I ain't ahead at any ways at this point, but I am better off than where I was with my bent frame and pieces knocked out. So we'd like to keep it that way. We're going to start stripping the body down, so maybe next weekend or the weekend after, I can pull the car outside. Get you back into view here. We can pull the car outside, get it turned around, and then I can pull that old beast out. It's going to go back to my engine builder, Danny Mosier. Those that are familiar with our local area over here in Missouri probably recognize the name Danny Mosier, because he's probably the most famous story I've heard of him is him running an inline six and whooping guys with big blocks. So back in the way back when. But I'm going to take the engine. He's going to go back through it, refreshing it up for me. If I can wheel and deal properly, I might put a bigger heart in here. My headers are cooked, literally. They're burning through in spots and been bent and damaged and everything else. They're going to get replaced over this winter. Like I said, we're going to replace steering parts. The body, probably keep these front fenders here if I can make them work. The nose, it's got character, but I think it's seen its day. We're going to replace pretty much, I would say 95% of the body and decking. My goal is do different decking altogether, because this decking is pretty flimsy the way it's set up. We redid the roll cage on the back, so that decking is pretty much, well, if you haven't seen it yet, we'll go take a little trip back here. We had to cut these big old holes out on both sides. Get that glare out of there, but we had to cut those big holes out. I need to refigure that out. But right now, that's kind of the game plan. We're done for the year. Maybe if somebody comes up with a car for me to drive for a Queens Rural night or at a different track, and I'm available, we might go that route. But we're moving on over here to this side because I need to make room for CJ's new yard beater. We've got a little roll cage for it. Oop, get my finger go the right way. It ain't nothing fancy or anything, but I need to make room for that over here, which shouldn't be too hard. But really don't know much about it. Got a good price on it. One of my subscribers to the channel actually had it, so Went up and got it off of him, and we're gonna kind of tinker with it, get it going again. We still got this old beater here. We'll probably mess with it still, but we're probably gonna convert this one over and let me run it, and then that one will be CJ's go-getter, and see what we can't come up with on that. Anybody know much about go-karts, want to point me in a good direction on how to set this one up a little bit better. It's currently got a one-wheel peel setup. Those that don't know what that means, it just turns that wheel right there. We're connected to the motor. Goal is, just have a yard beater. It ain't nothing fancy, but wouldn't mind making it a little bit faster. So we're going to get started getting this cleared up so we can get that cart in the garage and out from outside. And then we're going to get started on the old leafer and get it ready for tear down and washing and all that fun stuff. So stick around, we'll be with you. All right, we got this side cleaned up. We got both carts in here. We got that one. We need to do a little research. Like, if anybody is pretty knowledgeable with go-karts, if you want to hit me up, I like to make that one posi-track, just like this one is, and wouldn't mind to kind of make a little bit better go-kart out of it. It's just going to be a yard beater, but it'd be nice to have something that CJ can get faster and faster with. Plans for this winter, since we're done for the year. One, we're going to get that little go-kart done. Other thing is CJ's tractor, that's Fireball. Not to be confused with Big Red, my Branson. Fireball is a 1934 Farmall A. It's like I said, it's CJ's. It's been sitting for a couple years, but we need to get it fired up. Needs a starter or carburetor work. We want to get it running this winter, hopefully. Other projects that we're going to have coming up here probably fairly soon will be, like I said before, we're involved in Scouts, so I think this is CJ's last year to build a Pinewood car, which I like getting in on that action myself. I like building them, and I let CJ build his own. I always build me one, and when we get to that time, I'll bring out the 3 that I've built so far for me. And you want to bring yours out and let everybody see them too?
Sure.
All right. So he built 5 of them now that we've got for you. 5, 6. He's counting.
4.
He's got 4 of them, and last year he won everything at his Pinewood Derby, and we wasn't allowed to do a district Pinewood Derby, was we?
I don't think so. Either that or we didn't go.
I don't think they did a district this year, but so he's learned how to kind of make them a little quicker.
We're gonna do close to the same design as they did last year.
Yeah, he's learning. He does kind of a basic Pinewood setup, and I do what I call a wide body Pinewood car, which I will show you. Huh?
You got a piece from what you made them with.
Well, it don't really make a difference, but I'll break that down whenever we get to that point. Ultimately, when it comes to next year, we're not going to points race. We're going to go out and have a good time. That don't mean I'm not going to go out weekly. If the car's ready, we're going to go have a good time. This year I got so into wanting a points race that when the car broke, it really kind of tore me up. It kind of took the fun out of it. So I'm not going to plan on points racing this year. If the car's broke and needs put together, I'm going to take my time to do it properly. I'm not going to rush and throw it together. I did that I don't know how many times this year, and it come back to bite me several times. We're going to do new sides on the car, and new decking is my game plan. That's that's what we got wrapped up. We need to thank our sponsors for this year: Matthews and Sons Equipment, Wagner Brothers. Get my finger going the right direction. We got Honky Kong. Those that are wondering, my hair is slicked up. Some of that is sweat, but you know, I use their products to keep my beard and my hair looking good. High Caliber Graphics. They did all the graphics on the car this year. And way up there on the hood is my brother's little off-road shop, fabrication shop, DSP Motorsports. He specializes in mud trucks and that type of stuff. Riker Trucking, they been sponsoring the car since I think 11 years now. Baker Repair out of Fredericktown, they do a lot of my repairs. I'd say probably 95% of my repairs on Snowball, and pretty much all my tires, unless I had to buy one out on the road. So with that being said, if you watch my videos and you are interested in sponsoring for next year, hit me up on my Facebook fan page. You can hit me up on my personal, send me a message on my personal page. I'm not throwing my phone number out there because I don't want my phone ringing with a bunch of spammers. If you message me and want to talk over the phone that way, we can discuss phone numbers that way, but I'm not putting it out on social media. So with that being said, you know, we can, if you want to help sponsor for next year, the offers out here on the YouTube. I try to do my best. I just started my fan page a couple weeks ago, so we got a lot of spots on the car. Everything on the side, the roof, and everything's coming off this winter. I'm doing all new panels on the sides at least. Things if you want to help out with next year, whether it's money or parts, we can use tires, fuel, rims, you name it, parts wise, shocks, whatever. You know, if you want to offer that, we can find a spot for you on the car. The more the merrier. That's what I kind of say. Everybody on here has their own special place on their car, and these guys, if they want to stick with me, hopefully they do. They'll probably have first pick of what the position on the car they want. But like I said, we're probably not going to race hard next year for points, just because I don't want to deal with the disappointment of something happening and me not reaching the point that I want to do. We want to run and have fun, get better week to week. More importantly, I want to get parked on the front stretch than I do want to, more than I want to finish good in points. The engine's coming out, going to go to Danny Mosier and get redone. And really, we're going to keep up with the YouTube videos, and like I said, we're going to do other projects. If my sponsors don't want the sides off the cars, the fenders are going to stay with the car. They're coming off, but they're going to stay here because they're not in terrible shape. I'm going to reuse them if I can. But other than that, the sides of the car, the sail panels, the hood's going to probably stay because it's not in bad shape. Like I said, pretty much everything on the side of the car is coming off. If the sponsors don't want it, I'm going to put them up for auction because I really don't have the wall space for them. The roof, I will probably hang up on the door there underneath that old modified hood I got hanging up there. That'll probably be its new home. Trying to think what else, but we're probably going to, like I said, if sponsors don't want the sides, we're going to put them up for auction on my fan page probably. I have to figure out how to do all this stuff. But ultimately, we're going to say it's official. We're going to get started for 2021. Do you think we're going to get a win this year, CJ? Well, that's not very confident. But we're going to call it a wrap for 2020 and we might as well start saying we're getting into 2021 videos now. So we're gonna close it out and start tearing down. We'll start doing our 21 preparations. There's one thing about it, his nose can pretty well tell you the story of our year. Started off fresh, looking for good intentions, looked good at the start of the year, and at the end of the year we're all beat and dirty. So we're gonna call it a wrap on 2020. We got the nose off, everything's ready to go for a deep clean on the car and getting the decking done. So we'll catch you guys next video, and we'll get started on the car even better in the next video. So God bless you guys. We'll see you.